Snailbert! 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 Snailbert. 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 Welcome! Welcome to Snail Cam! First ever Snail Cam! First ever Snail Cam! Lemmy's first ever Snail Cam. Aren't they cute? Aren't they cute? I've been having a lot of trouble setting up the camera. It doesn't want to focus, and it doesn't want to do what I wanted to do, you know? Cameras. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. How are you guys? What is up? It is Friday. Friday. This is not my family. These are my children. And I kidnapped them all. I kidnapped them. I mean, I guess they're my family now. After I forced them to be. Oh, good. Oh, goody goody gumdrops. Okay, so let me show you guys what we've got going on here a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys what we've got going on here a little bit. So we have the snail terrarium I have is much smaller than my roach terrarium. As you can see, most of the snails have woken up at this point, but some of them are still not fully awake. There's two snails right here, but since it's on the glass, it like will not focus on them. But they're eating. They're eating. They're eating though. It just won't focus. See, no matter what I do, it will not focus on the ones on the glass. I can't get it to focus, so we're just gonna look at these guys. Because it won't focus on anyone else! I can't help it! I can't help it! Yeah, so we have a bunch of snails in there. They're all different species. Don't ask me what species they are. They're all just garden snails. I don't know specifically what species though. There's at least 2 or 3 different species in there though. Because we have ones that are more brown in color. Like their body is more brown. And then some that are more yellow. And I know they're different species. And then we have some that have like a tiger stripy shell. Not sure what species that is either. But they should be garden snails. But who knows what kind of snails are in the gardens, you know? You never know. What kind of snail is in your garden? You think these guys will try climbing the camera? I mean, since the camera is on the outside, it's a little hard for them to climb the camera. There's a bunch of snails up at the top. Let me move them down. Let me move them onto the Kale. Kind of see terrarium a little better. It's definitely not as nice of a terrarium as the roaches, but it's very tall. It's tall. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get some of them off the top because they're all climbing upwards. That's not where you're supposed to go. Come on. The turtle guys. That's not where the kale is. The kale? Kale's down here. Just trying to put them on the kale so they actually know there's food. If they don't touch the kale, then they don't really know that there's kale around because kale doesn't really smell. So I gotta make sure that they taste it a little bit. If they don't taste it, they won't know. That's the problem. But now that I've put them all on the kale, hopefully they'll all start eating it. Yeah! Cute snails. I don't know, do you guys know any specific snail species? Can you guys help me identify these snails? We do a snail identification stream. I could do a little bit of research on what kind of snails. No, escargot is not a species of snail, and that's mean. Don't eat the escargot. No! Okay, let me see if we can find them out. Garden snail species USA. Did you know that most snails are invasive? It's true. So probably every single snail in this terrarium is considered invasive. So me kidnapping them from my local parks and such isn't actually that bad of a crime because they are invasive. So most people don't want them in their parks and stuff anyway. Most people spray pesticides to try to kill them because they eat the crops and stuff. So technically I'm doing everybody a service by taking these snails. Yeah. At least that's what I like to think. Nobody appreciates them the way I appreciate them. You know? So I will bring them home and appreciate them. It is Earthbound music. Okay. Cornu asperum. Okay. They're mostly, it seems like the most common garden snail is I don't know. Cornu asperum. They're the most common. There's definitely a lot of different species out there. I wish it was easier to get information on what kind of snails each one is, but it's really hard. It's really hard, unfortunately. Snail species. Helix asperum. The commonly farmed snail throughout Europe. But it's been reclassified from Helix to Cornu asperum. Helix pomatia is the Roman snail, or the vineyard snail. and it is highly prized as food. No! I guess so. Most of them are probably in either Cornoasprum or Helix pomatia. Those are probably the two types that are in here the most. Have I tried tasting? I'm not eating the snails, guys. I don't even know why people would think that's eating snails in the first place would ever be a delicious thing. Have you seen snails? What about these creatures? Makes you say, wow, I want to put that in my mouth. Look at him. You want to put that in your mouth? Look at him. He would taste all slimy and gross. He's looking at you. He's looking at the camera with his little eyeball. Watching you. And there's one over here too. He's also snacking. Two snails snacking in the corner. There's a couple snails that still haven't fully woken up. I don't know if they're just stupid or what, but also something I've noticed about the snails, and I don't know if this is normal, but so when you feed snails, I've always complained to you guys about how snail poop is really nasty, because it is. It gets stuck to everything and it's really gross. It becomes like cement paste. It's really gross. But it's not smelly or anything. It's always snail poop. Like whatever you feed the snail, if it's a tomato, their snail poop will be tomato color. If you feed them kale, it will be green. It's like they poop out exactly what they eat. And something I've also noticed along those lines is I think they eat each other's poop. I don't know 100% if that's normal, but they poop out colored poop, and then it's very noticeable because like I fed them a tomato a week ago, and their poop is very red. There's like a bunch of red poops everywhere, and then all the red poops disappeared. Now where did they go? Because I didn't clean them. I think they eat each other's poop. I think they do. They reuse the nutrients. Or something. You're not feeding them enough. They get fed enough. They're very slow. It was a huge piece of tomato too. They have more than enough food. But today they have a big piece of kale. And it's probably gonna take them forever to eat it. Snails in the back there. So cute! I love snails. How do they poop if it turns into cement? Oh, you can see my computer. I'm looking at snail species. I mean, it's like, it doesn't turn into cement immediately. Like, it's wet and gross at first, and then it hardens. But when it hardens, it gets really hard. And if they poop on, like, the glass or something, then it becomes, like, impossible to get off. Snail slime! Snail slime is really sticky, and, like, it's like, it hardens like cement. It's very hard. It becomes very hard. I don't know exactly what snail slime is made out of, but it's definitely something pretty crazy. Should we look it up? What is snail slime made of? Snail and slug slime are a watery fluid. 90% water, while the remaining percent of slime is known as glycoproteins, enzymes, proteoglycans, like atrazine, hyaluronic acid. Oh, that's why people like putting snail slime on their face, huh? Because they got hyaluronic acid. Glycosaminoglycans and antimicrobial peptides, copper peptides, and metal ions. Oh, there's metal in their slime? Maybe that's why it gets so hard. It is kind of like super glue, yeah. It's made of flarp. Snails are actually made of flarp. My camera won't turn. Snail, 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 snail. Once everything evaporates, it congeals. Yeah. This corner gets like the best focus. That's why I'm like always in this corner. I don't know why it likes to focus the best in this corner, but it does. It likes this corner. Those two snails are still on the glass. I do not want to leave. Look at them. On the glass. They're like taking up so much space. I can't see past them now. Maybe I will move over the other side. Hi. Anyway, how are you guys today? Are you guys feeling swell? It's Friday. It's the end of the week. For most people, at least. I'm gonna be honest, my day has been garbage. It's been garbage. It's been absolute garbaggio, if I'm gonna be completely honest. It has not been a good day. But hey, at least it's a good day for the snails. They get to eat Kale. I don't know, I stayed up really late last night. Because I was working on stuff. And then, I guess I slept weird. Because my neck and my back have hurt really, really bad all day. And I keep thinking it'll just go away eventually. But it doesn't. And it still hurts. I can't do anything about it. I just... Ugh. I think I need to, like, get new pillows or something. Because I swear to God, every time I wake up in the morning, my neck and my back hurt so bad. Yeah, it's the same kind of pain. I've been going to the doctor for it, but they can't really figure out what it is, so... We don't know why I'm in constant pain. They're just like, here, try this. Here, do these exercises. No, nothing works. Nothing works. What kind of mattress you got? I have an extra soft mattress. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I don't want to buy a new mattress because those are expensive. Those are expensive. Maybe I should start sleeping on my couch again. Maybe I should sleep on my couch. My mattress on my bed is very soft and like you kind of like what do you call it? You like into it. Yeah, you sink into it a little. But then my couch is like very firm, so maybe I should just sleep on my couch. I wake up feeling like I fell downstairs. My vitamin D is stupid low. Wait, that has something to do with vitamin D? Feeling like you fall down the stairs? I used to get that a lot. I used to wake up feeling like I was falling a lot. Is that a vitamin D thing? I don't think I get that much anymore. But maybe that's because it's been replaced with me just constantly being in pain every time I sleep. Find someone to trade a mattress with? I don't know if they got mattress trading swaps. I think that's a little hard. You can't really trade mattresses like trading cards. They're a little too big. You can't really just put a mattress in your pocket and go to the local mattress trading market and just trade with somebody. Everyone should be taking vitamin D. What exactly is vitamin D? Is this a trick for you guys to be like, vitamin my D in your mouth? You should take some. What is vitamin D? Vitamin D's nuts. No! Vitamin D is actually good. Is that the one that comes from sunlight? Okay. I always get vitamin C and vitamin D mixed up. I never remember which one is the sunlight one. I always forget. There's an upside down snail. Do you guys see the upside down snail? He's eating upside down. Ah, they're in the way. The snails on the glass are in the way. You see him? He's in the corner there, eating upside down. What does he think he's doing? What a weirdo! He's eating that stuff upside down. Bro. No roaches. No roaches today. We only have snail. We're gonna be putting my roach on a diet, and by a diet, I mean we're gonna start feeding them once every other week instead of once a week. Cause they're getting a little bit fat. My roaches are getting fat. And I'm eating a high chew right now for your information. Snails. Snails. Do snails have babies? Yeah, they do. I need to stop eating hot chews on stream because I can't talk when I have them in my mouth. So, yeah, snails are actually hermaphrodites. Snails are hermaphrodites, so they are both girls and they are guys. They got both parts. So basically any snail can make baby. And when snail is pregnant, it goes and it buries itself in the dirt and it lays a bunch of eggs in the dirt. That's how they do it. There's actually a snail that is currently in the dirt right now. I don't know if it woke up. But I think that guy just laid babies. Can they self-fertilize? I don't think so. There might be some specific species of snail that can. I think there might be some species that can do it, but for the most part, they definitely need another snail to make a baby. Because when a mommy and a daddy snail love each other very much, when a mommy and a daddy snail love each other very much, one of the snails will take their gypsobellum and they will stab it into the other snail, therefore asserting themselves as the alpha and dominant snail. The alpha and dominant snail, which is the snail that shot the gypsobellum into the other snail, is considered the male. So they will take part in the lovemaking as the male. They will use their snail peanuts. And then the other one that got shot by the gypsobellum, which is a little pointy needle stabby thingy. I don't know how to explain it. It's a snail thing, okay? The one who got shot will be the girl, and they will act like the girl, and they will use their girl genitalia. That's how it works. It's a little weird, but that's what they do. They stab each other and then they make love. And normally the stabbing doesn't result in them killing each other. However, sometimes they can stab fatally and accidentally kill each other in the process. It's possible. Yeah, it's like a harpoon. Yes. Kind of like a harpoon. Yeah, snails are very, very, very weird creatures. They don't really act like anything else, you know? Is there a specific area on the body? I don't know. I don't know. If you want to know more about how snails make love, you might need to look into that yourself. You know, ruin your search history a little bit yourself. How do snails make love? You know? Yeah, it is a very slow process. It can take them from like a couple hours to like a couple days to do the deed. And if they get interrupted, well, they can die. Honestly, when you think about it, snails really are not the most, like, they weren't made to be... There's a lot of things that can go wrong for a snail, you know? There's a lot of things that can go wrong for a snail. Oh, one of the snails got off the front. I'm gonna move that one snail, hold on. Snail cam! Snail cam! That wasn't me. That was the snails. I moved them a little bit. Snails look more lippy than you imagined? What does that mean? They don't have lips. They have one giant foot, and that is what they do everything with. They're one singular, gigantic foot. Ah! No! I'm sorry! Oh, they did not like that. I knocked them over. Now they're all confused. Look at him. Look at that precious snail. So confused. Like, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Where's my food? Yeah, they are very slow. You know, they say that snails actually have really good eyesight, but for how good they apparently have good eyesight, they're still pretty dumb. The snails are not in distress, they're just confused where the kale went. Because I moved them and they have no sense of object permanence. They were eating and then they fell off the leaf and now they're like, where is the leaf? Where is the leaf? I don't know where it went. It was gone. Behind you guys. You guys gotta go behind you. You're so confused. Now they're kissing each other. Wow, that's a... Guys, this isn't the stream for that. Sometimes it's definitely hard to understand what snails are thinking about. There's a wall. Sometimes I see snails trying to attempt to climb. And then they dry out and die? Yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately. Well, I mean, so snails don't really dry out super easily. They can actually, when the snail quote-unquote dries out, if you ever see a snail like stuck on a wall and it's like dry, but it's still stuck to the wall, it's actually not dried out and dying. It's actually in hibernation, waiting until the next time it gets wet so that it can continue its journey. Because snails need to be wet. They need moisture. Oh, he found the leaf. That one found the leaf. The other guy is still very confused though. He found a piece of the leaf. Spit on it. Well, when they're very dry like that, you can easily pick them up and put them somewhere more moist. It is. I've seen people say that it's dangerous to like pick up snails. It's really not dangerous to pick up snails when they're dry, because they're inside of their shell at that point, and you're not gonna really hurt them. But once they are out of their shell, like they are right now, once they're like out of their shell, if you pick them up from their shell, you could possibly damage their organs because you're like pulling on them in a weird way. No, not dangerous for you, dangerous for them. It's dangerous when they're wet. Well, it's dangerous for them because if you pull their shell while they're wet like this, they're all like stuck to wherever they're standing on. And so the suction, and then you pull on their shell, and then you're like, it's like if somebody pulled your hair. It's like if somebody started trying to pick you up by your hair. It wouldn't be very fun. Don't pick snails up when they're out of their shell. By their shell. It will hurt them. The boy munching boy. Munching, look at him munching. I wish, you know, for as expensive of a camera as this is, I really wish I had it would let me like focus where I wanted to focus. But no, it's like fully autofocus. There's no option for me to like pick where it should focus. Look at him! Look at him nom nom nomming! Ever seen a snail eat? Well, now you have! Now you have seen a snail eat. Look at him! Nom 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 nom. Thank you, Kyle! Thank you for the gifted membies! Thank you! Yeah, corn snails. Corn snails can be very venomous, yes. And there's a lot of parasites that some freshwater snails carry that can kill people. But that's not really the snail's fault at the end of the day, is it? Blam, blam. This guy over here still hasn't figured it out. He still is looking for the kale. He still has not figured out where the kale is. You know, this is what they mean when they say snails are slow. This guy is really slow. He can't figure it out. It's right behind him. He can't figure it out. This guy's got some, though. Come on, focus on his little head. Please? Pretty please? It just refuses to. There's snails up in the back. Oh. Do they even have a brain? Snail brain. Do snail have a brain? Do snail have a brain? I know insects have brains. Do snail have brain though? Do snail have brain? Yeah, snail have brain. They have brain. I would assume it's much more simplistic than an animal brain or a mammal brain. It's very simplistic in comparison. Like, they can probably only understand like a couple of things, such as like pain and hunger and lust. That's probably all they can feel. They probably can't feel complex emotions like sadness or fear or happiness. But then again, that's how most animals are anyway. It's not just snails. Not just snails. Other animals are like that too. They can't really feel complex emotions because they don't have the capacity to understand complex emotions. Not so different from humans. Actually, literally the opposite of humans, because humans, unfortunately, we have something called sentience. Where we like understand that we're alive and that we can like think about things in a different perspective from most animals. And I personally think it's a debuff, being able to think too hard, because that's the reality. Humans' biggest problem is they think too hard. They have too much think in their brain, because when there's too much think in your brain, then you come up with stupid things. Like the Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, have you seen one of those? They're ugly as hell. I hope none of you guys have a Tesla Cybertruck, because those things are ugly. Not the Cybertruck. See, if we didn't have brains, then we would have never come up with something so stupid. Are they cool? Are they cool? I don't know. That is not the result of intelligence. Well, it's the result of having a human brain. We can define if that's intelligence or not some other day. Look, there's a little isopod. There's a little isopod in front too. All my terrariums have isopods in them and like a couple of mealworms in them, so that they keep the dirt, they keep it clean, so that nothing gets too moldy. Because one of the biggest problems with terrariums is if you leave food in it for too long, or something, or poop, sometimes it'll start to like get moldy, and then that can easily lead to like disease and stuff like that. So I always have isopods and mealworms so that they take care of like he's still confused. He's still confused. They take care of problems like mold. I know a lot of people use springtails, but maybe it's the kind of substrate I use, but my springtails always die so easily. So I gave up on springtails a long time ago. They die so quickly for me. Isopods survive. Isopods are good. Mealworms are good. What are you two doing over there, huh? Making out? Are those two snails making out? Oh, Snail. Oh, there's the snail hiding in the dirt. There. That one's probably laying eggs. That's probably why it's in the dirt. That's typically why they bury themselves, to lay the eggs. Yeah. That's why you don't see snail eggs normally, because normally they're buried in dirt. Well, that being said, there's different types of snails. Like, aquatic snails certainly don't lay the eggs in the dirt. They just kind of lay them wherever. And when snails lay babies, they lay tons of babies. If I get snail babies, I'll try and take pictures of the teeny tiny babies, because they're really cute. All the snails are trying to escape again. They're all going up there. Why? Eat the kale! You're not supposed to go up there. Are there babies? There's no babies right now. No, there's no babies right now. Well, there might be. Soon. I'm gonna move the big ones on the top down again. Maybe they'll realize that it's Kale this time. Some of these guys do not want to let go. What do snail babies taste like? Probably like dirt? I don't understand why people want to eat snails. I can't imagine they taste like anything but dirt. Dirt and maybe grass, maybe a little bit of plant flavor, but it's not gonna be like good. They smell like mud. They do smell like mud. I can confirm that much. Look at those guys in the back there. Those guys are hyper. Whoa, whoa, what's going on? The smaller snails are definitely a lot more active than the bigger ones. To be honest, if you saw a snail make love, you probably wouldn't even realize it was making love because they're so slow, you wouldn't understand what's happening. Oh, he fell over. It would hardly be passionate because they're just so much slower. What are you doing, little guy? He's climbing, that's what he's doing. He's climbing. Yeah, the little ones move way faster than the big ones, typically. I'm guessing maybe that's because they're younger and more spry, but I don't know. I really don't know. Look at these guys eating. Munching. Munching on leaves. And what do you think you're doing, mister? What do you think you're doing, mister? Coming to say hi? No, he just wants to climb. That's all they want to do. That's all they want to do all the time. It's just climb. Climb and poop and climb and poop, and that's all they do. Come on, camera, focus. Oh my god. The isopod is falling and he can't get up. There he is. He's fallen. Oh my god, the camera is so hot! Oh, it burns my fingers when I touch it! Oh, don't touch the camera! Holy shit! Oh. I feel like it's not normal for my camera to get that hot, but oh my god, a snail escaped! Oh my god. When the snails escaped. Now I'm worried that other snails are gonna escape. How did you get out? You were just really speedy, huh? I gotta put the cap on better, I guess. Okay. They're all trying to escape on me. Silly snails trying to escape on me. It's not allowed. There is a lid. I just didn't have it on all the way because I didn't think they would be fast enough to escape, but I guess they are, so I put it back on better. Ah! Don't worry about it. Do they have an optimum population size in a tank? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they really mind too many other snails being around them. Again, I don't really think they have the capacity to care that much. I think if anything, it'll only promote them to make babies more often. If there's lots of them close together, but I don't know. I don't know if there's an optimum population. If it seemed like they were getting overcrowded, I would move them, but as long as most of them are eating, then I don't really see it as a problem. Yeah. It's spraying them. Typically, if they stop eating, if bugs stop eating and stuff, that's when you know they're stressed out, yeah. I mean, honestly, probably being on camera with the lights on is probably a little scary for them. If I left this piece of kale in and there was no lights, and it was dark, they would probably eat it a lot faster and be a lot less afraid, but that's just how it is when it comes to trying to stream them, because I have to have lights so you guys can see them. It's the same with my roaches, you know? I'm sure it's not the most optimally comfortable way for them to eat, but yeah. Most bugs are camera shy. Bugs are camera shy, spiders are camera shy. They're always camera shy. They're not used to being on camera. It's not normal. There was a guy in the back that I took off the wall and he bubbled a little bit. So he was a little mad at me, but I think he's getting over it because he's coming out of his shell now. Do I have other terrariums? Of course I have other terrariums. I have snails, obviously. 2 roach terrariums. I have an isopod terrarium. I want to do a stream where I go through my isopod terrarium and try to separate them by different types, different species. Because I know I have a bunch of different species of isopods in that terrarium, but they're all just kind of in one. I don't know how many of which are in there. I know that one of the species just laid a bunch of babies because there's a ton of newborn baby isopods in the isopod terrarium. But I don't know what kind of isopod did that. I'll have to get the isopod nerds in chat and we'll have to figure out which type of isopod each one is, because most of the isopods I have, I didn't like get them by species or anything, like, so I have no idea what kind of species they are. I genuinely, for the most part, have no idea what isopod species I have. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the snails too. I don't know what kind of species they are, but I know I have some powder orange isopods. And I know I have I know I have a couple of different types. I've never been super duper into isopods. So I never like have looked into too much what kind of isopod species each one is. I just don't know. Probably mostly Porcellio isopods. But I don't know more specific than that. A lot of isopods typically kind of have similar kind of patterns, but they're not the same kind, you know? So it can be hard to differentiate. There is an abundance of species, and that's why I have no idea. But I would like to try to separate them, so that we can try to figure out what they are and how many of each I have. I might have some clown isopods. Maybe. I don't know. I can tell you what I don't have. I don't have rubber ducky isopods. I do not have those ones. Oh, there's an isopod in there. Speaking of isopods, what kind of isopod is that, huh? Can you identify the isopod just by looking at him? What is that guy? What are you? What are you? And I'm so sorry. Wait. That's not how that song goes. Common boy. Common roly-poly. I mean, I would define them all as common roly-poly in my brain. Okay. I told myself I would work on some stuff while I sit here. I have to work on things. Yeah, they're chomping. Too bad that one in the front is kind of in the way. You can't tell. But it is a chomping. I see this guy chomping a little bit here. Camera! Camera, focus! That's the best it's gonna do, I guess. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the snail? Snail cam? Or do you like the roach cam better? Snail cam, I feel like is more of a work in progress, you know, but... Watching some snails potentially mate something food. Yeah. Something potentially mate. I mean, yeah. Would you go on a date with somebody and watch dinner and a movie, or watch snails mate and eat maybe, and also maybe mate, and also maybe eat, and also maybe mate? You never know really with them. Snail cam is Chick-fil-A, roach cam is Waffle House. I will say the roach cam is certainly a bit more intense, because the roaches actually move around a lot more than the snails do. The snails are very, very chill. Even though there's some trying to escape, you guys can't see them trying to escape. Is it possible to have both in the same week? I worry I would start overfeeding them if I did it twice. If I did. When it comes to bugs, they don't really eat that often. I mean, I'm sure the snails could eat more often than I do feed them, but I don't know if they need it, is the thing. You know, because something about insects is they live in scarcity most of the time, right? So they're always kind of looking for the next meal, and they might not get the opportunity to have it. So they are a lot more capable of overeating than some other animals because they don't really understand when to stop. I mean, honestly, I think the roaches might be smart enough to figure that out, but I don't know if snails would. I don't know. How often do they say you should feed snails? How often would you feed? It's gonna be about the giant African snail. That one's too big. I don't have giant African snail. It says, oh no, it seems like there's mixed results for what people say how often you should feed them. But I don't know. I'm seeing some things online saying you should feed them only a couple times a month. And then I see other things online saying you should feed them, like, multiple times a week. But I definitely think that multiple times a week is too much. Just from my experience keeping bugs, they really don't eat that much, and I feel like that's part of what is really nice about keeping bugs, because you don't have to worry about feeding them every day. You can kind of like forget about them for a few days and then not feel guilty about it, because it's not like they're gonna die if they don't eat for a couple days. They only eat a little bit anyway. They only eat so much in the first place, so I'm kind of against feeding them multiple times a week. That just seems like too much to feed any of my bugs multiple times a week. I mean, if we're talking about my tarantulas even, my tarantulas eat like once a month sometimes, and then sometimes they decide not to even eat. Sometimes they decide to just drink water for like 6 months, and that's it. They won't eat. That's just tarantulas for you, though. Spiders are weird. Spiders are a bunch of weirdos. If you had a giant African snail... Well, I've heard that giant African snails are quite voracious. Like, super voracious. So honestly, if you have a giant African snail, I don't know how to take care of one, but I would assume that you probably have to feed them a lot. Or at least they can eat a lot, because they're big. 1, they're huge. 2, I've heard they eat a lot and they never stop eating. Yeah. I think you'd probably have to feed a giant African snail quite a bit. But another thing I worry about if I first of all, giant African snails are illegal as pets in the US, so I can't even think about having one. But if I did have one, I think something I would worry about with those giant snails is, they're so big. I would worry that like they would constantly be dehydrated. Because you gotta like keep them very wet and moist so that they're happy. But I mean, even keeping these snails wet and moist is kind of hard. I mean, when I feed them, it's like when they get the bulk of their water. terrarium, but I've tried multiple different terrariums with snails before, and my biggest problem with snails, other than them rubbing their poop everywhere, which I honestly think you can't stop them from rubbing their poop everywhere. They're just gonna rub their poop everywhere. You can't stop that. But the biggest problem I have with keeping snails is humidity not staying in the enclosure, and their enclosure getting dry too fast. Because terrariums, a lot of terrariums aren't really meant to keep in humidity, even though I feel like a lot of more terrariums should be made to keep in humidity. Sometimes it's really hard to get the humidity to stay in a terrarium. They just dry out so quickly. All the other terrariums I've used with my snails, they dry out so quickly. So that's why I've switched to this much smaller terrarium. I had them in a bigger terrarium. But now they're in this smaller one because the humidity keeps better. And there's an isopod right there in the front. Is their poop green? It will be green since they're eating kale. If they eat tomatoes, then their poop is red. If they eat chickpeas, which I did feed them chickpeas the other day when we fed the roaches chickpeas, I gave them some chickpeas too. They love the chickpeas. But if you feed them chickpeas, then their poop is chickpea colored, yellow. Whatever you feed them, that's the color their poop will be. You see this snail actually right here? You can't see his face, unfortunately. His face is just out of frame. But you can see his shell. That one. It's not showing up on a camera as well, as nicely as I would like, but that guy's shell is really, really cool. That snail right there has the coolest shell out of all these snails. It's like tiger stripes. It's really, really epic. I've never seen such like a distinct striped pattern on snails before, until I saw that one. But I guess that's just genetic variation, huh? Yeah, chickpeas are really good for you. I honestly don't know why people don't like eat chickpeas more often. They're very high in protein, right? They're like really, really good for you. Chickpeas, garbanzo beans. So, but guess it's just not really in the American diet. Your store doesn't have chickpeas, really? Look for garbanzo beans. Maybe they're called garbanzo beans where you live. It's the same thing. I'm guessing somebody named Garbanzo made the garbanzo beans. Named the garbanzo beans. He was like, I want to name these after myself. My name is Garbanzo, and these are my beans. When I was growing up, we always called them garbanzo beans, so I don't really know what... Oh my god, my backdrop keeps falling over for my camera so that the glare is not as bad. You eat the beans out of the can? Yeah, you can eat the beans out of the can. They're good. They're fine out of the can. Normally what I do with chickpeas or garbanzo beans though is I don't just eat them out of the can. If I'm gonna just eat them raw, normally I like I pour out all the water and then I pour like the beans onto like a paper towel or something, and then you kind of like let all the juices juice into the towel, and then you put them in a new container so they're not too like juicy and oily and gross. So I feel like they're too wet and black. If it's too wet, I don't like it. The snails look like Cuban bronze snails. We've been trying to figure out what kind of species these snails are. From everything I see, they seem to be like... What was it? Cornu-asperum? And then there was another one. It was like something... I don't remember. The vineyard snails? Let me look up Cuban brown snails. Saccharia provisora. I don't think that any of these are the Cuban snails. No, those guys have a very different kind of shell, honestly. These guys... Mine are definitely just garden snails of different types. I wish I could fix the glare better. Cell pattern is genuinely how you tell a species? Yeah, but a lot of these guys have a very similar shell pattern. I know there's at least 2 different species in here. Because some of these snails have a darker foot color, and then some of them have a more like light yellow blonde foot color. So those are probably 2 different species. And I do think it's probably just the common garden snail and then maybe the vineyard snail, which would make sense. But the Cuban snails, they seem like they have a very ridged shell. None of these guys have ridged shells. They're all very smooth. The shells with mountain patterns are no touchy snails. Man. I'm not in Europe. I am not in Europe, but the reason we have so many European snails is because people have what do you call it? Imported snails for farming in the past, and that's mostly how they became so prominent in my area. People import them for one reason or another. Yeah. I actually think a lot of the snails we have are all invasive where I am. I don't know. I don't see very many native snails where I live. Pretty sure they're all invasive. So that's why I don't feel bad about kidnapping them. Because they're not really supposed to be here in the first place. I'm not really doing anything wrong by kidnapping them, you know? Here, let me find the species type that we thought they were. I'm not 100% sure if this is the exact type, but yeah, let me get what they were called. I'm pretty sure they are originally European snails. We have a Cornu-asperum is definitely one of them. And what was the other one? The vineyard snail? What was that one called? We have Cornu-asperum, And then we have what is it called? Apple snails are impressive. Yeah. Oh yeah. There might be a cactus snail or two in here too. I don't know, cactus snails look a little bit different though, huh? I really do think that they're mostly cornoasprum. And what? I'm just gonna look at vineyard snail. What is it called? It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. Because I can't just like go off of what is local, what is like native to where I live, because I'm very certain these are not native. You got cuddle bones so they don't eat each other's shells? You know, I actually haven't had a problem where they eat each other's shells, but if I do run into that problem, then I will get cuddle boned. But I haven't had that problem. Virtue. Wood roaches. Wood roaches? Would I raise a tree roach? What is a tree roach? Ugh. Well, these are like the common cockroach that infest people's houses, huh? I don't really want those. I don't know. You know, I've never had a roach problem. I own roaches, I have pet roaches, but I've never encountered roaches as an issue. That's just not something I run into, thank goodness. Never had a roach problem where I live. Okay, I gotta go back to what I said I was gonna do. I gotta get stuff done on my computer, you know. I said that I would finish this present for you guys. For members. I have a present for my members. This weekend. This weekend, on Sunday, I'm gonna give you guys a present. That I've been working on. I'm trying to finish it off. I mean, it's almost done. I just added like new stuff to it, so I want to add those into it now too. Oh, snails! They're such weirdos. Snails. Does it include the wheel? The game wheel I said I would make? We'll make that too. We'll make that too. Well, no, this is separate from the wheel. We'll definitely make the wheel too. But this is gonna be separate. This is just a present in general. You don't want to see me rage. Why do you want me to rage? You know I'll rage at any game you give me, too. You don't even have to give me a rage game. You give me the easiest game in the world and I will manage to rage at it. It always happens. And then everyone's like, oh my god, it's so easy, Lemmy. A baby could figure this out. And I'm like, no, this game is broken. It sucks. This game sucks and it's broken. I can't do it. It's too hard. It always happens like that. Putt goes to the zoo. I would not be against playing like putt and stuff. I do want to play those games. They're very nostalgic for me, you know. I mean, my brain isn't very good. I can't play cool games like Elden Ring or Dark Souls or any game that requires any amount of skill. So I'll just go back to playing the baby games, I guess. I'll go back to like preschool, kindergarten games. What? I wonder if there's an Octonauts game. I feel like I would really enjoy an Octonauts game. I do like cozy games, but I don't know how good they are for stream content. Because sometimes I start to forget what to say. I get too engrossed in the game and then I say nothing. I'm just like playing the game and then it's not even fun anymore for anybody except me because I'm playing the game. But yeah, I love cozy games. I just mostly play them on my own. Dress up Flash games? No! It's too bad Flash games are kind of dead. I mean, I'm sure there's still... I think is Cool Math Games still around? I used to play the hell out of Cool Math games when I was a kid. I used to play... Also, when I was really little, I would play on Girl Scout games all the time. But I don't think those games are good by any means. They're pretty bad. Those games are very mind-numbing. Peppa Pig Moment Valley. I think I played Moment Valley a little bit before. And then I think I got stuck and gave up. And you might be like, wow, that's a kid's game. How did you manage to fuck it up, Lemmy? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm shamelessly bad at just playing games. P. Regalis? Which one is P. Regalis? I only have, 2 tarantulas right now. I have my beautiful, adorable, very cute, and very fluffy Brachypelma Smithy, but she hates me and she kicks hairs at me. And then I have, I forget the species name, but it's a zebra stripe knee? I think. And that zebra striped knee, she'll drink water a lot, but she refuses to eat. No matter what I give her. I give her all kinds of different foods. And she just always snubs it. But she'll drink a ton of water. She loves water. I mean, if she's not drinking the water, she's kicking dirt into her water bowl and then making it into mud. But I don't know what's up with her. You sure it's not a fish? Well, she doesn't swim in the water. She just likes to drink a lot of water. And I think partially the reason she might be drinking a lot of water is because she's not eating. And so, like, she drinks water, I don't know, to make up for it. I don't know. She's very problematic, I'll tell you that much. She's super problematic. She never eats, and whenever I give her water, which she loves, half the time she'll put dirt in it and then make it into mud. And then she won't eat it. She won't drink the water anymore. And I'm like, bro, really? I don't know what her deal is. She's just a little weirdo. Let's see her. Can I show her right now? I mean, she doesn't really like being touched, so I would have to... She is out right now, actually. I wonder if I could sneakily grab her and she wouldn't run away. Because I don't want to dig her out of her burrow when she goes in. Let's see if I can grab her. I think she's just gonna run away, though. I think she's gonna run away. You're doing good today. Okay. She scared me for a second. I thought she was gonna bite me. But no, she's actually in a fine mood today. She let me pick her up. I think I just spooked her. You're being good today. That's not normal for you. I think she might have eaten the roach I had left in her terrarium because she's looking pretty fat right now. She's looking fat for a tarantula that refuses to eat, at least. Yeah, you do look kind of fat today. Did you eat the roach? Did you eat that roach? Okay, hold on. You guys can see her. Trying to be very careful with her because she gets very crazy very easily. There she is. Proceeds to walk away. It's okay, baby. You just walk. Oh. Oh, she doesn't like me touching her. You just walk this way. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. She does not like that. It's a white knee. White knee. I want to crawl back there. I can't get to you if you're back there. Oh. Paper. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just scaring her at this point. She is very healthy weight right now. I think she just ate, honestly. Because She's had a roach in her terrarium that I've just left in there for a long time, hoping that she would eat it. And it's been alive. And maybe she finally ate it. Maybe she finally ate that roach. She is looking pretty plump right now. Is that a holy paper in your wall? No, this is just... I put this in front of the snail terrarium. So that the reflection from the terrarium doesn't give anything away. But yeah. See, she's very chill. And... yeah, she is a Samani. That's what she is. Is that called... is it... the store called her a zebra striped knee, but I don't know if that's right. When I got her. She was on sale because they said that they couldn't get her to eat no matter what they did. But then as soon as I brought her home, she ate immediately the first time I fed her. So I think they were just feeding her wrong. I think they were just feeding her wrong. But I'm gonna put her back now because I know she doesn't like it being out. Thank you for letting me grab you though, silly. She normally does not let me pick her up. And so it is zebra striped knee. Cutie. Okay. Come on, big baby. I didn't get her from Petco. I got her from a exotic store. Exotic pet store. I still have water. Nice. I think I'm itchy now. There you go. You saw her. It's probably like the first time and last time you're ever gonna see her though, because she normally is not so nice about me being able to pick her up. She's healthy. She is healthy. My other tarantula just has like a way better appetite than she does. How old is she? It's hard to say how old my tarantulas are because I didn't get either of them as babies. I got them both as adults. Actually, yeah, no, I did get both of them as adults, yeah. Because all the tarantulas I've ever gotten that hadn't reached maturity turned out to be dudes. And they only lived for a couple years after that. I'm really bad with my tarantula gacha luck. I almost always get guys, and they don't live as long as the girls, so... But I'm pretty sure the true tarantulas I have are both female. Hopefully, cross my fingers. Because I've been surprised before. I've been like convinced it's a female before, and then it turns into it like molts and it's suddenly a male, and I'm like, oh god, how did that even happen? She is well behaved. I think that also my bugs are just kind of used to my bullshit. So maybe they're just chill with me. How does it these trans spiders. I mean, so I had an Arizona blonde tarantula for the longest time. I had it for like I got it, but I didn't get it as a baby, but I got it when I got it, they said it had reached maturity already. Okay, so they said it was mature. And they said it was a confirmed female. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like 6 months into having this tarantula, this Arizona blonde tarantula, suddenly she molted. And she looked completely different from the way she did before. And at first I'm really confused because I'm like, huh? Huh? But it turns out she just wasn't. She hadn't reached maturity yet. And she hadn't reached her molt, her final, well, not her final molt, but she hadn't reached the molt that like determines their maturity. Like it makes it a lot easier for you to know which gender they are once they reach a certain age and they molt. So it just suddenly molted and it was different, and I like looked that up and I was like, oh my god, you've been a male this whole time? You've been a male this whole time? I can't believe it. Yeah. Every time I for the longest time I only had like males. And I think I was just unlucky. And I always feel really bad with males because, you know, I don't have anybody to let them mate with. And so they kind of just get old and sad and decrepit. I feel like when they turn out to be a male, the downfall from there is very quick. To be a male is to be debuffed in the tarantula world. It is a complete debuff. The spider world in general. I guess so, yeah. In the bug world in general. Because also mantises, they eat the males too. Male mantises are much smaller than the females. And a lot of times they get eaten before they can even mate. I've had mantises before too. Mantises don't live very long either though. I send my males off to new owners in exchange for some of the babies. But I don't even know how to like find people who would be willing to do that. That's the thing. I'm like so afraid to talk to people in the first place, and I don't even know like how I would, you know. I don't know who I could talk to. Nobody I know likes tarantulas. Everyone's like, "Oh, you like bugs? Okay, that's weird." Yeah, I like normal things like cats and dogs. You like bugs? Oh, you freak. You little freak. That's how I'm treated by all my friends. I do kind of wish that loving bugs was more mainstream. I don't know, I don't understand why they get such a bad rep. They're so important. They're so interesting. Snail face, snail face. Look at the snail face. And bro is chomping on that leaf too. With the exception of cockroaches. Okay, but my Madagascar hissing cockroaches are cute, right? Right? They're cute though. I mean, I can get not thinking that cute things like that infest your house are cute. Like, I don't think mosquitoes are cute. And those are bugs. You know? Mosquitoes are bugs, but... You know... Yeah, I've thought about going on, like, arachno boards and stuff. And, like... See, I feel like I'm in a very strange place, because I can't be too obvious on the internet. Because, you know, I don't want to accidentally, like, give away anything. But also, you know, I still want to be able to meet people who, you know, like things and maybe even live near me and enjoy the same things as me. But it's very hard because I can't be as, like, open in forums and stuff as some people can about, like, where they are and what kind of stuff they have. And then, like, if I was to do, like, a breeding program and I did, like, send a tarantula to somebody or something like that, or they sent a tarantula to me, then we'd have to give each other our addresses, and that's very scary. So, I don't know, I need to, like, make VTuber friends that are in the exact same boat as me, and we can just secretly send each other bug stuff, you know? Does UPS offer anonymous sending? Does it? P.O. boxes. I thought about getting a P.O. box. I just don't do enough, like, mail stuff to make it worth it. I mean, to be honest, if I ever did need to send something, maybe I would just make Senbei send it, you know? And then everyone can have the company address. You guys don't get to see my address, you get to see the company address. I'll just give it to Senbei. I'd be like, ship this tarantula, and he'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? It's for anonymity purposes, Senbei. Come on, ship my tarantula. What the fuck? Yeah, P.O. boxes are also kind of expensive. Like, if you're not getting a lot of mail through a P.O. box in the first place, if you're not, like... If things aren't constantly coming to you, then there's really no point in getting a P.O. box, you know? Because you have to pay, like, monthly for that kind of thing, and it's stupid. It's stupid. And I was selling merches too. I don't know. I don't know if there's really a point in selling any of my bugs. I mean, at the point I'm at with bugs, you know, it's a passion for me. So I don't really feel the need to, like, get my money back for any of the bugs I've bought, you know? I don't, you know. It's not like something I need. I see it as a net loss, but it's still something I enjoy. Just like my Miku figures. I see it as a net loss, and there's no reason to have any of them, but I still love them, and I still want them. Except Miku figures aren't alive, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I would love it if my Miku figures were alive. Miku figures will increase in value, trust. You know, I like to be delusional and think that sometimes too. I like to delusionally think, you know, when I buy a Miku figure, actually it's an investment. And it's gonna go up in price in like 5 years. And if I was going to sell it in 5 years, it would be like double the price. So it's worth it. So technically it's worth it. But that's not how things work. I mean, there's been a couple Miku figures that have gone up in price due to scarcity and stuff like that. But for the most part, no, that doesn't so happens. Would I marry Miku? I don't think I would marry anybody. I don't think I would marry anybody. Unless if it was for like tax or green card purposes. You know? What's the point in getting married to somebody unless there's like actually a legal advantage? That's how I see it. If I wanted, I don't know. I don't see a point in that kind of thing. But also, I don't understand love very much, so I don't really understand why anybody would want to get married in the first place. Like, it just sounds like a hassle. If you're not doing it for a reason to, like, tax reasons or, like, green card reasons, then, like, why would you do it? Why go through all the paperwork and, like, you're gonna spend money on getting married and then you gotta actually go do it? Oh, it's so much work, man. You better have a good reason for all that shit. And don't tell me it's just love. Love isn't real. I mean, I love my roaches and I love my snails, but I'm not getting married to them, huh? I'm not getting married to them. You wouldn't marry a snail, would you? Could buy a lot of flirt for the casserole wedding. I guess that's just something I don't even, like, consider in my life. The only relationship that I plan to have is with my bugs. And that's the only relationship that matters to me. All the snails have kind of drifted towards the back. Also, getting married in this economy? You gotta be out of your freaking nuts. You gotta be out of your mind. In this economy. What do you think I am? Have they slowed down eating? I mean, the ones in the back are definitely eating. They are doing it pretty slowly, though. I mean, they're all eating. Well, except the ones that are on the top of the train. But yeah, I mean, they're snails, so they don't do it very fast. It's not the most enthralling thing to watch. It's like watching paint dry. Slow process. Would you marry someone if they offered you a giant African snail? No, I don't think that's worth it either. I don't think that's worth it either. I have very high standards. And which is crazy. Because I feel like I'm a very, like, you know, worthless person. But if I would have huge standards for anybody else, you know? What are the snail standards? Well, you gotta cook, you gotta clean, you gotta do the dishes. If I don't want to do them, I'm not gonna sleep in the same bed as anybody because I'm a violent sleeper, and I like to fight people in my sleep, apparently, and you will get punched in the face. So just to avoid any, like, broken noses in the middle of the night, I think we should sleep in separate beds. What else? Like, sometimes I'm very needy, and, like, I love being around people, but then other times, I absolutely hate people, to the point where I just can't even, like, verbally explain that I'm in a bad mood. I'm just, like, in such a bad mood that, like, just don't talk to me. And if you talk to me, well, you've already fucked up, you know? If you talk to me when I'm already in a bad mood, you've already fucked up. You can't... There's no going back. Fairly reasonable. I would also expect, if I ever had a partner, they would have to be very much used to my farts, and burps. Except I don't like it when other people burp, because I genuinely think that burping is really gross. But I don't think it's gross when I do it. When I do it, it's funny. But if anybody else does it in my presence, it's really nasty. So don't do it in my presence. Okay, and you can call that a double standard all you want, but you know, it's just the way I am. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm okay with farts though. Farts are funny. Oh, you need to make money. You would need to make money, because if you don't make any money and you're not, like, working on anything, then you're just not a hardworking person. I don't like that. But then again, I don't really have a job either. So, you know, you could also call that a double standard. It's not actually about the money, it's about what the money stands for. Yeah! Yeah, I mean, most of the time, until, like, we're broke and I don't have it, and then there's no money, and then it's about the money, you know? It's not about the money until it's about the money, and once it's about the money, it's about the money. Because money makes the world go round, you can't live without money. You can't feed the bugs without money. Well, actually, surprisingly, bugs are pretty easy to feed. I guess it depends on the bug, though. I'd say, like, spiders are pretty hard to feed if you don't have, like, a supply of living insects. But I do. I have a mealworm farm in my basement, so I just grow the mealworms myself, so I don't really have to spend any money on any of the food for my bugs, because most of my bugs, they eat what I eat, what my family eats. Leftover veggies, leftover fruits, leftover food. So it's not like I'm going out of my way to buy them food specifically for them most of the time. I guess the most expensive thing about keeping bugs, I think, is the terrariums. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but why are terrariums and, like, aquariums so freaking expensive? At the end of the day, it's like a plastic or a glass box. There is no reason why a plastic or a glass box should cost $100 when it's, like, not even that big. This terrarium that the snails are in, it's not that big. Like, it's really not that big. It cost you probably, like, $100. I didn't pay $100 for it because I got it, like, at a yard sale, but it's a really nice quality terrarium. And I would have never fucking paid full price for this shit. Never, ever. But terrariums are expensive. Terrariums are really, really, really expensive. Yeah, I get that glass is going to be more expensive than plastic. But there's a lot of terrariums out there that are just completely made of plastic and they're still charging like $100 for it. And I'm like, it's not even glass. How do you get away with this? How do you get away with this? It is quite literally a plastic box and you are selling it for $50. How? Yeah. I would say the terrariums themselves are the most expensive part of bug keeping. I know some people just keep bugs in like, you know, like Tupperware containers and stuff like that, but I mostly prefer for them to be in nicer containers than that, you know. I mostly prefer nicer containers, and I like to be able to see them from the side, and it's not like that frosted plastic. I don't like the frosted plastic. Unless you're putting water in it, you can be used, yes. But I bought used 125-gallon terrarium and the seal split down the side and flooded the basement. Oh man. See, that's part of the reason why I stopped keeping aquatic animals like fish. There was just so many problems all the time. Keeping things that live in water is a pain in the butt. People always act like fish are so easy to take care of, but no. No, fish are not easy to take care of, because you have to deal with water. And you don't breathe water, do you? Do you breathe water? No, you don't breathe water. And that's what makes it hard to deal with them, because you don't understand what they need all the time. Because it's the water. The water is their life. The water, you know, it's gotta have like a certain pH and a certain level of like temperature, and it, you know, if it's a ocean fish, then it's gotta be a little bit salty, and then you gotta mix the salt up so that it's perfect. And if it's too salty, then they could die. But if it's not salty enough, then they could die. I don't want to deal with fish ever again. That's all I'm saying. I'm never gonna deal with fish again. People who are passionate for keeping fish are on a whole nother level. I can't relate. That is too much work for me. That is too much. Fish are divas. It's just that they live a completely different life than us. They don't breathe air. They breathe water. And water is like a completely different world. We just don't understand it. You can't just taste a little bit of aquarium water and be like, yeah, the pH is not quite there yet. We need to increase the pH. Oh, the nitrates are too high. What am I tasting in there? Is that ammonia? No, you can't tell that. You can't tell that. Because you're not a freaking fish. If it was that easy, I would keep fish. I don't want to fish stuff. They're too much work for me. Too much work. Fish are easy? No. Fish are too much. Can you do that with the dirt then? Yeah, I mean, I mixed up all the dirt that I put in all my terrariums myself. It's cocoa. The substrate I normally use in all my terrariums is mostly cocoa fiber. And cocoa fiber is just like so good. And you know what? Cocoa fiber, you can technically eat it. So technically I could eat my own terrarium dirt. I could taste my own terrarium dirt and see how clean it was. Because it's probably that clean, because it's literally just cocoa fiber. But you know, I don't keep reptiles either. I also see reptiles as very, very complicated to keep. I guess it's just not my forte. My forte is bugs, you know? So I don't care enough to, like, learn everything about how to keep fish or reptiles and, like, put in all the work for it. But... I have a 125 gallon with a bluegill and blackhead bull... Black bullheads! And live plants. I always found keeping live plants to be so hard. You know, you wanna know something I've had multiple of my friends come up to me and say? And I'm always like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Something, a delusion I hear often from people is, I wanna start my own, what do they call it? What is it called? Eco... I don't remember what it's called. I've totally blanked on it. Biosphere! Yes! They're always like, I want to create my own self-sustainable biosphere, self-sustaining ecosystem. You know, the ones that have, like, the fish in it, and the plants, and sometimes they also have, like, a bug part in it. Because you see them on YouTube, you see people, like, make them, and they're, like, really cool and elaborate and awesome. If you have no experience with, like, keeping fish or terrariums of any kind, it is the most delusional thing in the world to think that you're gonna be able to put one of those together. You can't, no, you know, the kind of people who put those together, they've been working with that kind of stuff for years and years, and they've made tons of mistakes. You can't just randomly come out of nowhere, never have touched a terrarium or a fish before, and be like, yeah, I think I can make a biosphere. An ecosystem that's self-sustainable and has fish and bugs and plants and everything grows and lives fine. Yeah, I think so. It's just like so much work. So much work. Bioactive. I don't know, there's a couple different names people use for them. But I've had it's something I've had multiple friends come up to me and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm like, no, you can't. I mean, you can, but I think it's a waste of time and money, and it's probably gonna fail. So unless you want to put like 5 years of your life into it and a lot of money, and you have time for that, I don't think you should do that. I really don't. Don't crush their dreams. Crush their dreams if it's gonna financially ruin them. If it was a friend of mine that like was into fish or like reptiles, and they had a lot of experience with or keeping plants or something, then I would encourage them, you know? But I swear people who have no experience will say they want to do that kind of thing, and I'm just like, it's gonna be a long journey, bud. You can't just do something like that on a whim. I'm sorry. Life's not that easy. Life is not that easy. If it was that easy, I would have done that too. Everybody would be doing it if it was that easy. But it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's like saying I'm gonna make a car from scratch. Yeah, or somebody who says like, yeah, I think I'm gonna like... You know? I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna build a robot, one of those robots that, you know, fights in those battles. You know, the robots that fight each other. I'm gonna build one of those robots. I've never made a robot. I've never touched programming of any kind, any shape. I've never done any of that. But you know what? I'm gonna make one of those fighting robots. I'm gonna make one. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I'm sorry, you're not gonna do it. You gotta start small and build up. You can't just go from nothing to the biggest thing and think it's gonna work out. That's not how things work. You gotta start small. You know, make a tiny baby robot. Make something very simple. And then you work your way up until you can make the coolest fighting boxing robot of your life that beats all of his enemies, and it actually has a katana and slices them in half when he wins. But yeah. I would love to be able to build robots. But I don't know how to do that. Yeah, so I'm not gonna quit my job and just go into building robots. Alright, that's a bad idea. I think in general, telling people just don't quit your job to do anything is good. I think one, it's so hard to get a job nowadays that if you have a job and it's working for you and it's making money and you're not like super depressed doing it, then I think you should keep your job, and you can still do hobbies on the side. Don't quit your job. Don't quit your fucking job. Don't quit your job for anything. It's not worth it. Don't quit your job and then drop $500,000 on a VTuber model and then realize it's not for you. This song started off like it was gonna go into all I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I love the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity centered. Touch my neck and I'll touch yours. You and those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, I know what you think about. What you think about? Something, your mouth, something, I don't remember it. Someone told me an arboreal tarantula bioactive enclosure could cost upwards of $1,000 to get completely stable. And then even then, one oops and it's toast. Exactly. Oh, it's cool to have big dreams, guys, but like you gotta work your way towards those big goals. You can't go from nothing to the biggest goal ever. That's just not how it's gonna work. You know, rarely does that ever happen. You can't just start like auditioning for like, I don't know, movies or something and think, oh yeah, now I'm gonna get the main role and then I'm gonna become famous and everyone's gonna love me and then I'm gonna become rich and I'm gonna be a millionaire and I'm gonna be like the best actor in the world. That's not how it works. Normally you gotta go through the process of going through lots of little tiny baby roles. Things that you probably don't even like doing. You gotta work your way up. Work your way up, bro. Some people get it right the first time. I wouldn't say they get it right the first time. I think most people who are successful at the end of the day, like extremely successful in really any industry, I think that luck plays a huge factor. I don't think you can really guarantee success for anything and anyone. The only thing that can guarantee success is money. And the reality is, most of us don't have enough money to guarantee success, you know? And even then, sometimes money still can't even guarantee success. I just say it's probably gonna up your chances a lot the more money you put into something, but we don't have that kind of money. You're just one person. If you were a big company, then you could guarantee the success. Just by throwing money at things, but... Money did not save Concord. Money did not save... What's that other game? High Guard? Is that what it's called? High Guard. The one that they, like, talked about at the Game Awards? That one was extremely funded too, right? High Guard, yeah. It had, like, a bunch of, like, really, really big names on it. And then... Yep. Success isn't something that is just, like... You know... Guaranteed. It's never guaranteed. You could work your whole life towards a goal, and you still might never get there. And that's sad, but that's just how it is. Money, you say? Oh my god, thank you for money. Success is a lot of failures. I think the most important thing is just to do things you're passionate about. That way, it doesn't really matter if you fail or succeed, right? I think that's what's most important. Not depending on whether you fail or succeed, but if you had fun along the way. So, don't go into things just thinking that you're going to get to the top right off the bat. You won't. But it's the journey of getting there that is the meaningful part. Are they still sleeping? No, those guys are just been slow in the back. All the snails that are on the Kale are eating. It's just some of them have their faces hidden. High Guard did kind of come out of nowhere, and it came out of nowhere mostly, in my opinion, because of the Game Awards. Because it was given such a big slot, a huge opportunity. So it was kind of expected that it was going to be this crazy thing, but then it wasn't that crazy, and everyone was like, wow, this is ass. Wow, this is like mid at best. Industry plant game. I thought it was a really interesting subject to go into because it from everything it seems like they didn't ask to be given that spot and they got it for free. But in a way, I feel like it kind of screwed them over even more because people expected so much, and then once the game came out, like it wasn't really like seen as a small game anymore. It was seen as like, why isn't this the best thing I've ever played? It was in the spot that's supposed to be the best thing that anybody has ever freaking played. And this game is not the best thing anybody has played. It's just... Yeah, too much. Suffering from success. Suffering from too much hype. Because, I mean, think about it. If any other game really gets that spot in the Game Awards, they're probably basically guaranteed success. Even if it's just not even the best game in the world, you know? It's guaranteed some level of success. And I mean, I guess it kind of was. There was a lot of people who played it the first day it came out. But then, you know, then it fell off really fast because it just wasn't that interesting. Game Awards has given you an impression of mixed bag results since the beginning. I mean, when it comes to those kinds of game shows in general, like any kind of awards show, you can really... I feel like the hype, you can really only expect anything... You've gotta keep your expectations low, because it's an award show. There's gonna be some level of nepotism. I mean, do you think the people who always win the Grammys deserve it? Or the Oscars? Every single year, people win the Grammys or the Oscars, and people are like, no, that person didn't deserve that thing. Clearly, everybody voted for this person. Clearly, this person didn't deserve that thing. There's definitely some level of nepotism in all these shows. But that's just to be expected. Because that's just business, baby. Nepotism is the true guarantee of success. It can be. Well, again, I still don't think anything guarantees success. I think it can highly increase it. Money, nepotism, it can really increase your success. But I don't know if it's ever a guarantee. Because sometimes you see like really rich people, really successful people, put in a lot of money into a project that falls through and they've just wasted $10 billion. So it happens to like that too. It's not always a guarantee. But also, a lot of people just spend money in stupid ways. Personally, I invest in Bugs and Miku, and I think that's a great investment. Feels like cheating? Being rich is like cheating. I agree, it's like cheating. If you weren't born into it, you don't really get to cheat. I think that snails, yes, we should aspire a little bit more to be like snails. What do snails do? They eat, they poop, they sleep, they make love, they make a baby, they eat, and they poop, and they sleep, and that is it. I wish that were me. Do they pee? I don't think they pee, no. They poop. A lot of animals don't pee. You know, lizards don't pee. Birds don't pee. A lot of things don't pee. Peeing is kind of unique in the animal kingdom if you think about it, really. Why do we pee? Why doesn't it all just come out of the same hole? Why is there multiple holes? It doesn't make any sense. Who made it like that? Who did that? Who did that? Who said that was how it should be? Clearly, everybody else is doing it right. Humans are actually the only animal that pees. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I don't know if you've never seen a dog pee before, but I'm pretty sure dogs pee too, okay? There's plenty of animals that do pee, but I'm just saying there's plenty of animals that don't pee. Yeah, reptiles and birds have a cloaca. That's where they poop. Why does dog pee smell so bad, and why does it not go away? Bro, you wanna know something absolutely nasty? When I was a kid, I had a friend, and they had They had one of those backyards that, for some reason, they decided to take out all the grass in their backyard and replace it with that freaking fake plastic grass. Do you know what I'm talking about? What is it called? I don't know what it's called. The fake grass. It's like plastic grass, right? And then they had a dog. And they would just let their dog pee on the fake grass. And because it's grass, and it doesn't like... Well, I mean, I guess if it was grass, it would have just died because they would be getting peed on, but... It didn't go anywhere, it just stayed in the plastic. So their backyard just smelled like hot dog piss all the time. And when it was like a really hot day in the summer, oh, their backyard smelled so gross. It just smelled like the pissiest backyard you've ever smelled. And why? Just why? Why? Did they clean it? I mean, I'm sure they like tried to hose it off with water and stuff, but it's just like it absorbed the pee or something. It just always smelled like pee. Constantly, their backyard smelled like piss. I mean, you couldn't really smell it from outside their backyard, but since I was a kid and I would go to their backyard all the time and we would play with, like, on their trampoline, I would get to smell the piss smell all the time. Yeah, they had a piss line, and they just kept letting their dog piss on it. I think at one point they, like, stopped being able to smell the piss or something, because I remember complaining to my friend when I was like, why does your lawn smell like piss all the time? And he was like, what? It doesn't smell like... I don't smell anything. I don't smell anything. I don't smell it. What are you talking about? I don't smell anything. Oh, you don't smell anything. Oh, you don't smell... Oh, so either you're nose blind or you're lying to yourself. It's like cat owners' litter box. Like, yeah, maybe a litter box they never clean. If you're not cleaning your cat's litter box... Oh my god. Don't get me started on people who don't clean their cat's litter box. That is straight up animal abuse. If you're not cleaning a cat's litter box and you're letting them poop on the same poop over and over again, and they just gotta keep pooping on their poop. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. And also, how do you live in a house that has a cat litter box that's full of shit? And do you not smell it? Do you not feel unnerved? Are you not disgusted? Oh my god. Some people. Or people with like doggies that use like the poo-poo pads or the pee-pee pads, and they just like leave them on the floor. Ugh, those are so nasty. No! No, no, no! And that's not good for the pet either. You can't do that to your dog or your cat. How hard is it to fucking clean a litter box? Or like, if you have a dog, which I don't have a dog because I don't want to do this. I don't want to walk a dog every day, so I'm not going to have a dog. But if you have a dog, why is it so hard for you to fucking walk your dog? Why? Why is it so hard for people to take care of their pets? Just don't have pets. Don't have pets! If you can't take care of them, why do you have them? Don't get them. Oh my god. People who treat animals like shit really, 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 really get on my nerves. Like, people who buy a certain breed of dog, and then, like, when the dog is, like, a known breed that's not super easy to train, and then they're like, why isn't my dog doing the coolest tricks, and they're not sitting when I ask them to sit, and all this, and they bark when I don't want them to bark. Why? And it's like, bro. Bro, you literally chose that breed of dog. What do you mean? It's not acting the way you thought it would, but it is. It's acting exactly how it's supposed to. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like buying a like a poodle, buying a fluffy little poodle, and then saying, why can't it be like my service dog? Why can't my poodle be a service dog? I don't know. Why can't your poodle be a service dog? Probably because it's not a fucking service dog. It's a poodle! Oh my god! You can have an emotional support chihuahua. Not one that's gonna do anything of use. I mean, if it brings you emotional support mentally, that's great. Okay, but I don't know if legally you can call it an emotional support chihuahua. Because it's not gonna do the things that it needs to do to be a service dog, you know? Poodles are smart, you gotta train them. I don't actually know that much about dogs. I don't know that much about dogs, but I just people get a type of animal and expect it to do things that type of animal is not really expected to do. It's just kind of like, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. Like, you get a dog and then you don't take it for walks, and instead you get it a poo-poo pee-pee pad and it just keeps peeping and poo-pooing on your bed instead of the pee-pee poo-poo pad, and you're like, why does it do that? Maybe because you're not treating it the way it's meant to be treated. Take it for a fucking walk. Guys, if you want something that's gonna poop on inside, get a cat and give it a litter box. If you're like, what? It doesn't make any sense. I just want all living things to be treated the way they deserve to be treated, you know? That's how it should be. It really annoys me when people buy things they don't know anything about and then complain when it doesn't do the things they want it to do. It's like asking a fish to walk. Asking why you can't take your fish for a walk. I don't know. Why can't you take your fish for a walk? Maybe because it's a fish. Guys, every time I put a leash on my fish and I take him outside, he just doesn't walk. He doesn't move. And he just lays there. And I don't get it. Like, why is he just laying there? I'm clearly trying to take him for a walk. He just doesn't get it. And then I put him back into his fishbowl, and he just like never moves again. And it's really weird because I was just trying to take him for a walk, bro. You ever tried training your fish? Mm-hmm. Cat pee is worse than dog pee? I think they're both gross. You know what I think is really gross? Human pee. Human pee is like really stinky. I mean, we can talk all day about how cat and dog pee is gross, but like human pee is actually way more nasty. It's way more nasty in my opinion. Stupid human, stop peeing. Human poo is also the nastiest? Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it's gross because we eat all kinds of weird candy and processed junk. We eat all kinds of weird things. We eat like Taco Bell and shit. And then we have nasty poops. We're like, ew, gross. But it's like, that's what you put into your body, you freak. And listen, I put in my body too, it's delicious. But, you know, we can't complain. We should all try eating grass. Hey, at least we would have grassy poops. Maybe we'd even be like snails and we'd poop the exact same color. Or just be grass poop. Aquarium snails absolutely love cucumbers. Apparently, normal snails really love cucumbers too. I just haven't tried feeding them any cucumbers before. I guess I don't eat cucumbers that much. Or like when I eat cucumbers, normally like they have sauce on them, so I don't want to give those to any snails or anything because that could hurt them. Nearly any aquatic thing loves cucumbers. I guess cucumbers are mostly water, so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, a cucumber almost killed me one time, but I still like cucumbers. Yeah. It may have almost ended my life, but it was I still eat them. I was wondering why that snail was just sitting there, just staring at the camera for so long, and I just realized it's taking a huge, massive shit. It's just taking the world's biggest shit right now. I was like, why isn't he? Is he good? Are you good, bro? Like he just stopped eating, and he's just sitting there, not doing anything. Like, are you good? Yeah, he was just taking a shit, bro. Aw. You know, sometimes you just gotta stop everything, go. Okay, I'm good, you know? Now he's gonna go back to eating, watch. Poops and then immediately goes back to eating. Truly the life. Lots of Earthbound music today. Is it just looping the same music over and over again? I kind of feel like it is. I think it has been looping the same music. I guess that would make sense. Because I feel like I've heard the same Earthbound song like 5 times today. It's low volume? Ah! Why didn't you tell me earlier? I can turn it up. This song is also just kind of low volume. Here, we'll switch to a new playlist. Can you hear that? Is that too low? Or is it better? I can turn it up more. I have a really hard time getting the music in that sweet spot where it's not louder than my voice. I think that is that better? Is this better? I think this is a little better. Ever since I got these new headphones, my audio's been kind of funky. And I need to like fix the latency for when I do karaoke's and stuff. Because when I did my last karaoke, it was a karaoke relay. But I'm pretty sure the latency was off for that. It's because my headphones are like slightly a different latency than my old headphones. So I have to like re-find exactly what the latency difference is between my computer and my headphones, so that when I sing, you guys hear me singing at the same time as the music. It's so annoying. I hate audio. I hate audio. I hate audio. I hate troubleshooting audio. I think it's annoying. I don't want to do it. It's the worst thing ever. I hate hearing. I hate latency. I hate OBS. I hate Windows 11. I hate... what else do I hate? I hate tech issues. I hate people that hate bugs. I hate printers. You know, when I was a kid, our printers were always broken, but now as an adult, we rarely ever print things. But when we do print things, it actually works. And it's like, why don't printers work? Why didn't they work back when we needed to print things? But no, now they work. Now it works just fine. It works just fine now. If I want to print something, I can print something just fine, but nobody prints anything anymore, so there's no point in printing anything. Is that stupid? Isn't that the stupidest thing you've ever heard in your life? You have to cast a spell to connect it? Yeah. Printing stickers. what I used to make a bunch of when I was younger? I used to make a lot of, you guys know Shrinky Dinks? Shrinky Dinks! Yeah, Shrinky Dinks. I made it when I was younger. I made lots and lots and lots of Shrinky Dinks. So many Shrinky Dinks. Yeah, I made so many Shrinky Dinks. I kind of want to make like Shrinky Dinks again. But if I make Shrinky Dinks, then I have to go and I have to buy markers, and I have to buy the Shrinky Dink paper, and then I have to like actually draw in real life, like on physically in the real world instead of digitally, which is like a totally different beast. Once you start drawing digitally, or at least this is how I feel, I haven't drawn like on a physical piece of paper in like the last couple of years, and so drawing on a physical piece of paper sounds terrifying to me, you know? It's very scary. I'm like, I don't know if my hands can do it. I don't know if I can. All I know is digital now. I'm gonna like try and hit the undo I'm gonna try and hit the undo button on a piece of paper, and it's not gonna work, and then I'm gonna cry. Because there's no undo button in real life. Yes, exactly. There's no undo button. Stick on digital, then print. But that's not as fun. Like, for a stream, that's not as fun. But if I did Shrinky Dinks on stream, I definitely think it'd be more fun to do it like physically. I have clay. I've been meaning to like make little clay trinkets. I wanna make little clay trinkets for all the SVP girls. I've been putting that off, but that's been an idea, a stream idea I've had for a while. These snails can eat? I mean, I gave them one entire big leaf of kale. They definitely can't eat as much as the roaches do. If it was the roaches, they would have devoured this piece of kale already. 100%, but... I mean, the snails are trying their best. There's a guy back there. There's a guy over here. He's trying. He's trying over there. And then there's a bunch of snails that are not hungry anymore, and they just are up there. Yeah, and then there's the snail that is in the dirt right there, laying eggs. They will very, very slowly consume the kale. It will take time though. How many snails are in there? I guess we can count. Not too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15? I think there's 15 in there. If there is none hiding underneath the kale or hiding like underneath the dirt, then I'm pretty sure there's 15 in there. Look at these guys. I'm pretty sure it's 15. They do make eggs fast. They will. Once they make eggs, there's gonna be like so many babies. There's gonna be so many babies when they make eggs. It's gonna be ridiculous. Oh, ridiculous. Giant African snail. Unfortunately, well, I mean fortunately for the environment, but unfortunately for people who want to keep them as pets, they're illegal where I live. They're illegal. Because they started eating people's houses apparently in Florida. And so they banned them from the US completely. You cannot get a giant African snail anywhere in the US. It's super duper duper illegal. Yeah, there was like a huge problem with them and then Florida. Well, I mean it's Florida also. Florida, it feels like Florida always has invasive species issues that go crazy. But I feel like they really kind of have every species of animal in Florida at this point with how many weird things they got going on there. I've kind of always wanted to like visit Florida or move to Florida or something because of all the weird bugs they have and all the weird animals. I'm like, that's perfect for me. That's perfect for me, but yeah, they do have the iguana problem. They have iguana. Iguanas are a problem in Florida. They have lionfish that are a huge problem in Florida. They have... I don't remember what kind of snake. Is it ball pythons? Yeah. Pythons. They have a python problem. There's a lot of... Not ball? It's not ball? Burmese? Okay. It's Burmese. And then they've had the snail problem. They just got a lot of problems over there in Florida, huh? Cuddleborn helps with the eggs as well. Maybe I'll get some Cuddlebone. I don't know if my local pet store would have it. Maybe I could just order it online. It'll probably be easier, honestly, just order online. Am I gonna expand my roach collection? Well, I mean, I already have 2 terrariums full of roaches. So... I don't really, I don't really, know if I want to get another terrarium full of roaches. I think I'm almost kind of at the point where if my roaches start, if I feel like I am getting too many roaches to the point where I'd want to have another terrarium, I might instead just start donating them or something. To like my pet store. It might be better to do that. Because I love them, don't get me wrong, but I only have so much space in my house, in my room. I can only have so much stuff. Chicken eggshells for calcium. Does that work with snails too? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really had an issue with their shells being too brittle or cracking. But if I do, at least I know the cuddle bone and stuff will definitely be a way to fix that. Tubes for sealing walkways that connect multiple terrariums to your roaches. Oh my god, do you know how much work that would be? And do you know how many roaches would probably find a way to escape from that? This is causing more problems. Snail shells grow back? Oh, when they're cracked, they can heal. They can repair, yes. But like if a snail can't live without its shell, it can't like just grow a whole new one. Unfortunately. If you take away a snail's shell, it's probably dead. But if it cracks, yeah, they can heal it. It's not super fast, not the fastest thing ever, but it is a part of their body, so... Well, the shell of a snail is, literally a part of their body. Yes, they're born with their shells, they grow them. When you see a baby snail, they still have their shell. They're like these tiny... It's hard to explain. They look like snails. They still look like snails. It's a part of their body. It's literally an organ. Their snail shells are very important. They cannot live without their snail shells. They grow them. They were made by them. They're a part of their body. It's like if somebody took your skin. And taking the shell of a snail is like if somebody took your skin away. I mean, like, yeah, maybe you could possibly, theoretically survive without any skin on your body. But, it would probably be really hard and really painful. Snail eggs and babies need the cuddle bone. Okay. I will get one then. I will get cuddle bone. Have I seen the snail attach? I don't know if I've seen them exactly hatch, but I've seen them. I've seen a snail egg, and I've seen like it slowly turn into a snail over time. They're not eggs in the sense that you're thinking of, like a chicken egg. It's not like a chicken egg. It's more like a see-through, transparent almost. Like there's a film on it. So you can kind of see them in there, and then they eat the egg for nutrients. Kind of like a frog, yeah. They're just... I can try and find you guys some pictures of snail eggs. Terrestrial snails bury their eggs. I never get to see them hatch. See, I had one of my snails a long time ago when I used to keep snails. When I was younger, I had a snail lay eggs in the dirt, and they laid the eggs right up against the glass. So I actually got to see, you know, everything kind of happening inside of the eggs. Like them slowly forming because they laid it right up against the glass. But yeah, normally you're not able to see eggs. Yeah, normally it's like in the dirt. But in that case, it was up against the glass, which was cool. I should have taken pictures back then. I guess I just didn't think about that back then. They look like little white beads. When they're little white squishy beads. They kind of look like boba pearls almost. Cloudy, white, boba pearls, maybe? I'm trying to think of a good way to describe. Did you sell one snail or a dozen roaches for an entire day? I don't know. I like them both. You know, I'm also thinking, you know, maybe partially part of the reason that giant African snails aren't illegal in, like, England might also be because it's England. And even if the snails escaped, would they really be able to survive? Because it's, like, cold. But it is wet, so maybe they would survive. I don't know. I think, giant African snails, they need a warmer climate, though. They need, like, humidity, right? I feel like they wouldn't be able to survive in England, maybe. Right? I don't know. Oh yeah, the Florida yoink guy? Yoink! We got a little virus right here. A yoink! Look at these swamp puppies. Yoink! I like that guy. Does he still post? I feel like there's a point in time where he stopped posting. I don't know if he still posts. He was in South America recently. Snail. Here, I'll show you guys some snail eggs. Snail eggs. No, not aquatic snail eggs. Yeah, that Florida yoink guy made me want to move to Florida. There you go, there's some snail eggs. See? They just look little... They look like little white beads. That's it. But they're normally completely covered in dirt. And then... I wonder if I can get a picture of them, like, slowly turning into a snail. Apparently snail caviar is a thing. People eat those eggs. I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of nasty. I guess they do hatch out of the eggs. I mean, I guess, yeah. Oh no, that opened a whole website. Open petsnails.uk. Oops. Here you go. This is apparently what they look like when they hatch out of the egg. So I guess they do kind of look like birds. They do kind of hatch out like birds, huh? I always thought it was more gloopy than that, but I guess it is more egg-like. Imagine you have a tiny egg and you expect a bird to hatch out of it, but instead of a bird hatching out of it, actually a snail hatches out of it. Imagine that. Do snails have teeth? Yeah, they do. I mean, they're obviously not like human teeth, but they do have teeth. They've got lots of little teeth. You need to have teeth for like grinding things up. Radula. Yes, radula. Snail tongue. Are snails evil? Yep. Truly. Very, very evil. Especially the ones that eat people's houses in Florida. How could they? Don't they know that people live there? Oh my god. Would I eat a house? It depends on what flavor it is. So maybe. Depends on the flavor and it depends on how hungry I am. Florida house or Cali house? Definitely Florida house. I feel like that would be moister. It'd be very moist. And I personally prefer my like cookies and my cupcakes and such to be moist more than dry. I don't like dry cookies. So I would imagine I would prefer Florida house because it would be moist. More swampy. Extra flavor. Oh, wait. I didn't even realize that there's a little isopod right here. the camera would focus. I don't think it will though. It doesn't want to focus on the isopod. Nope. Oh, there's an isopod eating the Kale too, right over there. Yeah, he's eating Kale. He's like he's trying to be one of the big boys. What is happening? Oh, the other snail is grabbing the leaf. There it is. Now it's focusing. Look at him. Kind of focusing. Kind of. Yeah, there's a big snail eating like underneath right there. Yeah, this camera doesn't really like to focus when things are too close up, unfortunately. There we go. Come on, camera. Come on. Bro, it literally refuses to focus on the isopod no matter what I do. I give up. Oh, now it's not gonna focus at all, huh? Now you're not gonna focus at all? Huh? Period. Camera cannot decide what it wants. There's a Facebook group where people pretend to be ants. What? It's just like ant roleplay on Facebook. How do I join? I don't have a Facebook account. I wouldn't be able to join anyway. I haven't ever understood Facebook. But then again, I'm not much for social media in the first place, so... Lift for the queen! We must bring her this piece of bread we have found on the floor. She will love it. She will make many baby with this piece of bread. Think of all the cousins and brothers that we can create if the queen eats this one piece of bread. Facebook was cool back in 2008. I don't think Facebook was ever cool, if I'm being honest. I remember I made a Facebook account when I was really young, because I wanted to play the Facebook games. You remember when Facebook games were like poppin'? Do you remember? You guys remember that? Do you remember when Facebook games were like crazy? That was when I had a Facebook. And then as soon as those weren't popular anymore, I forgot my password and I never went on that account again. Don't even ask me what it was, I don't remember. You play games? No. I would never play games. Games are for kids. I'm an adult, okay? I'm an adult. I sit and I watch snails eat. I don't play games. Ew. Ew. Ew, you think I'm a kid? You think I play games? Psh. Absolutely not. We watch snails here. And that's it. That's all we ever do, nothing else. This is adult content. Entertainment for adults. Snails. Come on, focus. Come on. Come on. One of these days. Come on. I give up. That's too high. Oh, I'm trying to give you guys a better angle. I don't know if I would consider that much better. I mean, you can see him actually. So in that sense, it's an improvement. Yeah. No. No. It doesn't want to look where I want it to look. I give up. Oh yeah, you can see the texture pretty nice from this angle, huh? I love when my camera decides to focus on everything except the parts that I want it to focus on, you know? It's really fun. I guess that's just cameras in general, though. They never really do what you want. It's just not allowed. Hi, Mr. Snail. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Oh my god, that snail art is 18 plus. Oh my god, I didn't realize until just now it has boobs. That snail has boobs. The snail has boobs, bro. Oh, what's happening? There he is. There's the one who keeps moving the Kale. It won't focus on his face, but there he is. There's the perpetrator. That's the guy who keeps making all the trouble. Look, he's gonna pull it over and fall over now. Okay, or my camera's gonna fall over. That's cool. No, that's what I wanted to happen. It's okay, I wanted that to happen. I hate that it refuses to focus. I need to like find a little miniature tripod that will work for this camera. Actually, wait, I have a miniature tripod. Shoot, I have a miniature tripod, I think. Hold on, let me find it. It's somewhere. In this box, I think. Does this work? Make one from spare Legos. Trying to find a use for my Legos, huh? Oh, okay, we're falling over again. No, that's fine. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off the camera for a second so that I can try the tripod out. There we go. I don't have to balance everything on my terrariums anymore. This is a really shitty little mini tripod though. I don't know if it'll work. You know what? Hey, this kind of works. I mean, it's still not focusing where I want it to focus, but you guys can have a nicer top angle. I've had this mini tripod for so long. Why didn't I ever think about using it for its own, for the sole purpose of a tripod to put a camera on? I've just been, this entire time I've had this nice camera that we've been doing, like, bug cams. I just, for some reason, it never crossed my mind to use the tripod that is meant for small cameras. I've just been balancing shit on tissue boxes and Lego boxes and terrariums and shit. What is my deal? I like just didn't think about it at all. And then you know, they say that you only use, what, like 10% of your brain? Clearly, I'm only using like 1% of mine. That's a myth? Well, for me, it's not, because It's true for me. I'm very stupid. Oh my god. Now I have hiccups. Is that just one big thick snail in front? No, there's two snails like on top of each other. They're on top of each other right there. One is on that guy's shell. Naruhodo. 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 Now whenever I hear Naruhodo, I always think of the giraffe. The giraffe from Revue Starlight. that Togo was showing us from the watch along. Oh yeah, he says wakarimasu. Oh, it's not naruhodo. Wakarimasu. What is the difference? What is it? Don't they mean the same thing? I'm stupid. I don't have hiccups anymore. They passed. Sometimes. I don't know what it is, but sometimes do you ever get just like one hiccup? Do you ever get just one hiccup and then you don't hiccup anymore? That was what I got. I got one rogue hiccup and then I don't have no hiccup no more. One is of course obviously and the other one is oh I get it. Okay. Wakarimasu. Naruhodo. That's called a burp. No, it was not a burp. I know the difference between a hiccup and a burp. Wakarimasu. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Well, it's been 3 hours and 30 minutes and these snails still have not finished their piece of kale. Their one leaf of kale. If it was the roaches, they would have finished the kale an hour ago. Or even a couple of hours ago. But yeah, as you can see, still kale. Still much kale, lots of kale. Very much kale. They're gonna work on it very slowly over the next day or so. They're not number speed, no. At a snail's pace, as they say. They're working on it at a snail's pace. Also, probably the light is probably drying out them a little bit. So, I'll take that off of them. Yeah. So, we've been streaming for so long today. I'm gonna go ahead and raid into, somebody else. That is all for the weekly bug cam this week. Weekly snail cam. Next week we'll do another feeding cam. Will it be roaches? Will it be snails? Maybe it'll even be isopods. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait and see, huh? What would you guys like the most? I wish I could do spider feeding cams, but they don't really like to eat in front of anybody. They take their food and then they run away. Please wax you extra hard with a stop sign during tomorrow's stream. I don't know if I should be the designated bully tomorrow. But yes, that's a good point. I'm gonna be doing a Lethal Company collab with Chio and Peekaboo and Nana tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Scorp feedings when? Oh, unfortunately, my scorpion is still too tiny for my camera to even pick him up. I mean, as you can see, my camera doesn't want to focus on anything I want it to focus on. Can you imagine trying to focus on a tiny, tiny baby scorpion? It's just not gonna happen. We gotta wait until he's bigger. Yeah, and then we will have Snailbert Sunday. On Sunday, we will do Snailbert Sunday, and I will have a present for all my Snailberts. There's gonna be a present for you guys. We will also do the wheel, but there's also gonna be a present, and those are unrelated. And we'll do another bug feeding stream next week on Friday. So yeah. I'm not gonna be streaming the collab tomorrow. But I think who's gonna be streaming the collab tomorrow? Probably Chio's gonna stream it, I would guess, right? I think Chio's probably gonna stream the collab tomorrow. Pico is probably also gonna stream the collab. Maybe? Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys for that. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for Snailbert Sunday. And there's a snail currently walking over my head. It is currently on my head right now. Goodbye, Snail. Goodbye. He was just trying to say goodbye. Alright, let me find somebody to read into. Who is live right now? We're gonna read into Chisato. We're gonna read into Chisato. She went to Disney and now her wallet is crying. That is what her stream is about. So yeah, we're gonna read into Chisato. And I'll see you guys. If you're a member, I'll see you for Snailbert Sunday. Otherwise, I'll maybe see you guys for the collab tomorrow on someone else's channel, maybe? Okay. Bye-bye! Bye-bye, everyone! Bye-bye! Oh, we're gonna read into Chisato! We're gonna read into Chisato. If you want to say Snailbert, then say Snailbert. If you don't want to say Snailbert, then clearly you hate snails and I don't know why you came to the stream. But please say Snailbert. We're gonna read now. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys later. Okay,